Okay, I'm here to give you an Only Friends Season 2 Episode 1 breakdown. I decided this is what I'll do for the episode so I can keep you up to date, because that's a lot of work. If the quality is bad, that's not my business. I'm doing this on my mom's laptop, so don't come for me. I'm actively wearing a Jesus Freak shirt, and I feel like I feel it's really appropriate for what this show is. I will. Oh no! I actually broke something. I will purposely not say bad words in this. Okay? Okay? I will make this as family friendly as I plausibly can. Okay. I got this. So, for season 2, episode 1. The title of it was Act 1 Game On. Low-key? Kinda baller. No, that's actually sick. That's sick. I'm gonna tell you everyone's names. For the sake of this show, it's so that I don't get confused when I see posts on the internet. I am gonna call them by their characters' names. You got this. Mix is playing Dean, and he's an actor in the show. He wants the lead in the play, you know, whatever. There's Earth, who plays as Jack. He's the director of the play. Joss plays as Arnold, which low-key, crazy name for them to go for. He's gonna act in the show, but outside of that, he's also a dancer, and he works at the Pink Pony Club bar. Gowan plays Tua, who's in charge of costume for the play. Al plays as Rome. He's just a DJ. He's not like doing sound for the play or anything like that. He's just a DJ. Sometimes he DJs at the Pink Pony Club bar. They're not doing live performances. We're doing DJs. Boom plays Raffi. He wants to be an actor in the show. He wants to be an actor in the play. And then we have a side character who I think is going to be there a lot, so I put his name too, so like we can know that. His name's Timmy. He's just the producer. Whatever. And by the way, I hope you can hear it. I do have just sound ambiance from SpongeBob in the background, playing a little bit loudly on my TV in hopes that it captures through to get background noise. If it doesn't, just know that is there, and that is what I hear. For the most part. Okay. First off, like I said, we got a Sand Ray cameo. That is a fact. It was beautiful. It was phenomenal. Sand and Dean performed a song at the senior farewell party. I guess it's a new school year. That's my guess. By the way, we're college students. Obviously. But I feel like I need to say that out loud. We're college students. And this is how the show opens, by the way. I do want to say that. I am going like in order. Yes. And while they're performing, we get to see Jack, who I have notes, by the way. That's what I'm referring to. I wrote this all down. We get to see Jack, who seemingly looks a little upset about Sand and Dean's performance, which is crazy because, girl, we're just singing. I mean, we're just singing, but yeah, looks were shared. Low-key, there was chemistry going on, but like that's just how showbiz works, you know? Low-key, whatever. Post-performance, Dean he's talking to Sand, and he's like, yo, girl, man, we were so good. You want to get like a drink? later? You want to get like a drink after this or what? Come on, you want me, it's crazy. And before Sand could respond to the whole getting invited out for a drink thing, immediately Ray, he's showing up. I don't know where he was. I assume Dog was in the crowd, but he shows up and Sand's like, this is my boyfriend, you know, and Ray makes a comment about how their performance was good, but they don't sound good together and they don't go together. And Dean took the hint and he left. He got out of that mess. What I really appreciated is when Ray showed up for the cameo, they started playing Let's Try. They started playing the theme song from the first season. Bad News Bears, dude, they have a whole new theme song for season 2. It is not Let's Try. They changed it. It's gone. Hate to say it. I don't think it's coming back. Unless Ray comes back, it's not coming back, man. That sucks. Okay. And so after that, you kind of just get you get to meet like more of the characters. So Jack ends up going and getting a drink because he's upset. He's not having a good night, you know. He's a little jealous about Dean's performance with Sand. He's not having a good time. Where'd it go? Oh my goodness. Sorry. And then yeah, he's getting his drink, and then Raffi shows up, and you know, he's kind of like, hey girl, like what's going on? And it's a little obvious that Raffi has some interest in Jack. That is obvious. We're well aware. Just based on vibe. You pick it up. Don't. Also, it's OnlyFriends, and in OnlyFriends, everyone seemingly kind of likes everybody. So, just saying. Let's remember that. And then Jack gets his drink and he walks away. And actually, you know what? I love that for him. I love that he said, I gotta go. And so he goes back over to his friends, and Dean ends up showing up, and Dean, if I remember correctly, I think Tua and Timmy compliment Dean's performance, but like Jack doesn't say anything. And so he specifically asked, he was like, well, what did you think about my performance? And if I Jack, if I remember correctly, I think Jack tells him that like it wasn't that good. You know? Jack kinda hits him with like it was fine. You know? Jack, I'm gonna tell you this now. I don't know when this will end, but anytime Jack and Dean interact, Jack is giving such attitude. It is beautiful. It's beautiful. It's phenomenal. So Dean deserves it. He's clearly gonna be the drama of the show. He deserves the attitude. You know, I'm just saying. Dean kind of low-key gives attitude back. Yeah, wait, no. Yeah, because Jack is like, wasn't memorable. Wasn't nothing crazy. Dean obviously gives attitude back. And he's like, that's so crazy, because I know you don't mean that, because I know it was good. You don't mean that. You're bitter. And then later it shows Tua's going to leave, and he's outside. He's calling his Uber. Call your Uber. You know, that is an internet reference. I don't know if you'd get that. I don't have you caught up on internet references. I'm sorry, man. That's a new thing we're saying. When people are doing too much, we say it's time to call your Uber so you can go home. Yeah, so that's where that comes from. That's crazy. But then Arnold pulls up on his motorbike, and he's like, "Hey, girl, like, what's going on?" And then he was like, you know, I'm just waiting for my ride. Called my Uber. I'm waiting. And then he was like, let me just take you home. Like, that's so much easier. He was like, I'm leaving too. Might as well. You're on my way home. And Tua's like, no. I already called my Uber though. And Arnold, they argue about it until finally Arnold takes Tua's phone, cancels Tua's Uber, and gives him a helmet and is just like, get on. I canceled it. Get on. Come on. So he takes him home. It's nothing crazy. And a vibe you kind of pick up from that one is that Tua's totally interested in Arnold and they're friends. So yeah. So just saying, man. And then Raffi, he proceeds to go to the bathroom. Like, yeah, like it cuts and Raffi's in a bathroom. He's doing a phone call at the bathroom. I don't even know if he used the bathroom or what, or if he just said this is the perfect place for his phone call. But he calls somebody and he's low-key like, hey man, what's the chance you want to get with me this evening? And they're like, are you drunk? And he's like, no, I only drink a little bit. That is a lie. Raffi is drunk. He is. We're just lying. And the person on the phone's like, no, I don't want to. I'm busy. And this, so he hangs up the phone. This woman walks out of the bathroom stall, which low-key, that was kind of crazy. I wasn't aware that we were doing all gender bathrooms like that. That was wild. I don't know, man. She walks out the bathroom stall, leaves, and then Rome walks out the same bathroom stall and immediately starts putting in work. Hitting on Raffi. He's putting in work. Work, boy, work. Immediately starts hitting on him. And Raffi's like, that's so crazy. You're trying to get with me right now. What about her? Like, you just got with her, girl. Like, aren't you like, immediately after, you're just ready? Like, that's crazy. And he was like, yep. Yes, I am. Let's go. Unfortunately, they do go for it in this bathroom. In the same bathroom stall, might I add. We don't even pick like a different stall. Same one. Public bathroom. That's crazy. That's insane. Public bathroom? Public? Okay. I guess. Whatever. It's now the next day. I assume it's the next day. Yeah. It's the next day. Based on a conversation that was had, it's the next day. And they now have to pick what the faculty play is going to be. There's two choices. We have Jack's play, Romeo and Romeo. And then the other person wanted to do Wicked. Low-key, dude. Kind of wish they would have done Wicked. That would have been actually really funny. That would have been really funny if we did Only Friends Season 2 and we were doing the play Wicked at the same time. But obviously Jack wins. We're doing Romeo and Romeo, whatever. And after he wins, Timmy immediately is like, I'm gonna be producer, obviously. By the way, they're just shouting this in front of the whole faculty. Like, it's just them standing up and being like, I'm gonna do this. Which was, like, crazy. I don't know. Jack does mention that he plans to change the ending of the play to where nobody dies and they just get to be alive and be in love. Whatever. Yeah, Timmy's like, I'm gonna be producer. And then Tua stands up and he says, I do costume and so on and so forth. And then he starts mentioning that they're gonna hold auditions for the lead of his play, and immediately some girl interjects. She interrupts quick. She says, dude, there's no point. The lead's obviously gonna be Dean. He's the lead of all of your plays. There's no point in holding auditions. What a waste of everyone's time. And you know what? Respect. I respect her for that. Get him. Get him. Yeah, you got him. And Dean stands up. Dean stands up and he makes a comment and he's like, no, it's fair game, and we gotta give other people a chance. He said, but at the end of the day, I do know exactly what he wants. I know everything about him, Crazy declaration to make in front of just everyone. Whatever. That's actually a common thing that comes up with Dean, is Dean has this issue with staking claim over Jack, which is crazy because they broke up. And also, based on a conversation they had, it seems like Dean dumped him. So I don't think you could just dump people and then be like, I own them. No, you don't. No, you guys aren't even together. You broke up with them. That's how that works. Whatever. And so blah blah blah. Oh yeah, Raffi and Rome, they have a class together. They end up sitting next to each other. Rome's hitting pretty hard on Raffi again. I'm gonna be completely honest. He's low-key hitting on him again. And Raffi's like, nah, man. No, he said, wasn't even that good. He was like, wasn't that good, man. I don't really want to talk. And Rome insists it was really good. And that's the argument. That is the argument that they have until the teacher interrupts them. Which was crazy. That's such a crazy argument to have in a classroom where anyone can hear. Whatever. Maybe I don't know nothing. And then we get to see Arnold dancing or whatever. I'm gonna be honest, I think we kind of just put that clip in there just to show off a sweaty version of Joss. I'm gonna be honest, I kind of think that's what it was all for, because we weren't really focusing on any dance moves really or anything. I think they just wanted to show you Joss in a tank top sweaty. So yeah, the whole because a big thing with Arnold's character, which is Joss's character, is that girly pop is eye candy, I guess. We're all just oh my goodness, he's so hot, and that's kind of his character. Love that for him. I mean, respect, yeah, Tua shows up and he's like, hey man, just came to pay you for that ride. And he was like, don't pay me, please don't pay me. And then he insists on paying him, and he proceeds to apparently give him low-key too much money. And then he was like, that's for all the previous rides you've also given me that apparently he hasn't paid for. And And he's like, please don't pay me. He said, we're friends. Don't pay me. You don't have to. And then he's like, what you can do is you can give me my helmet back. Yeah, apparently Tua took his helmet last night. He just went home, took the helmet with him. And Arnold's kind of making fun of him, and he's like, yeah, you know, you were saying silly stuff last night. And we learned through the silly things that Tua was saying that Dean and Tua are roommates, which is crazy. It's crazy that they're roommates, okay? Because he makes a comment about it. He's like, you know, Dean doesn't pay rent like I don't make it pay rent. All he has to do is pay for utilities, and he doesn't pay for those either. So they're roommates, and Dean's a freeloader. That's all I learned. Yeah. Dean's your stay-at-home gamer boyfriend. If he wasn't your boyfriend and was also a musical theater kid instead. So instead he's bringing you music and drama. So that's cool. That's cool. You know, best roommate ever. We blow past that. We move on. Now it's time for us to hold auditions for our play or whatever. We're holding the auditions. Jack doesn't like anybody. Big shock. Oh my goodness. He doesn't like any of them. What? We're all so shocked. Oh. And then Dean comes in. He said, it's my turn. It's my turn to audition. He comes in to do his audition, but literally before he gets to fully start his audition, Raffi also shows up to audition for the exact same part. And I noticed something, which is that in their auditions, even though they're saying kind of the same, like, dialogue, would it be dialogue? I don't know. Whatever. You know, they're given a thing to say for the role that they want. It showcases them during different parts of the statement. So in the statement that their character is making, they're kind of like professing their love for the other character and trying to convince them to like be with them and whatnot. During the subsections of that include kind of mentioning that they are past lovers and that no one knows you how I know you, you know, things like that, whatnot. That's when Dean's character is being showcased. That's when we're showing him. And when we're talking about plausible new interest, where he has choices to make, and, you know, I'll be waiting to be by your side. That's when we're showcasing Raffi, which is kind of just to, yet again, remind you as a viewer and bring to light that is Jack's genuine situation with the two, is that Dean is his past lover, and Dean low-key mentions a lot, like, no one knows you like I do. I know everything about you. You know everything about me. You're mine. You are mine! And Raffi is kind of just like, what's up, man? I'd be so down. I'd be so interested. Please pick me. Please. My name's Raffi. Whatever. We move on from auditions. Obviously, Jack hasn't picked yet. He's got time. You know, you gotta wait to do that call sheet. Callbacks? Call sheet? I think it's just call sheet. I don't know. Jack decides to go do speed dating. You know, it's what all the cool kids do nowadays. Guess who else is doing speed dating at the exact same place at the exact same time? It's obviously Dean. Dean is also doing speed dating. He ends up showing up, sits in front of Jack, and he asks him about it. He was like, so did I get the lead or what? And Jack's like, I don't know. He said, it's not guaranteed to be yours. I still have decisions to make. Raffi could still get it, you know? He could win. He could win. And then yet again, he pulls that thing where he's like, No, we can't, because you belong to me. You belong to me. You're mine. You are mine. Which, yet again, crazy. It's low-key insane. Okay, yeah, that's kind of all I really had to say about them, I guess. And then we move past that, and now we're at the Pink Pony Club bar. Woo! The name of the bar owner is Pink, by the way. And for this, I really do want you to I really do want you to imagine that this bar owner named Pink is in fact the the American recording artist Pink, please. I'd like for you to imagine that it's her. I'd really appreciate it. Okay, whatever. Next. And then we discover while we're there, we learn that Arnold works there, and they do have a moment together at some point, because Jack complains at the bar about the fact that he has no one to be the like genuine like Romeo character, because Raffi and Dean both want to be like the Juliet version of Romeo, you know? And Tua makes a comment about it, and he's like, well, you know, you could always just make one of them be the other Romeo. Like, they can both be the leads, so then you don't have to fight between the two. Like, you don't have to choose. And he was like, no, that's not possible, because they're such, like, similar characters. Like, they're low-key's, like, they have, like, the same vibe, so I can't make one of them be Romeo, you know? And so he's like, okay, whatever. Tua does his due diligence after having a conversation with Dean, where Dean convinces him, he was like, hey, you know, Arnold's kind of hot. By the way, this is quite literally kind of how the conversation goes. He said, you know, Arnold's hot, and whoever ends up dating him is going to be so lucky. And then he was like, right? Tua was like, yeah, like, I guess. And then Dean's like, listen, if you like him and you're interested in him, just get him on the play. Get him in the play. That's all you gotta do. Just get him in the play, dude. Get him in the play. He could be the other Romeo. Get him in there. And he's like, I don't know, man, but okay. And so they do end up having a conversation, and Tua's like, hey, like, you should be the Romeo in the play. And then Arnold's like, no. He says, no, I don't know how to act. I can't do that. He said, I don't even think I'd get it. And he's like, no, you would totally get it. He said, and also it pays money. And he tells him like how much money it is. I don't remember what he said. He either said 2 or 20,000. I don't remember. One of the two. And then later Arnold comes back up and he's like, you know what? Yeah. He said, I've thought about it. Yeah, I'll audition. I'll do it. Hey. Hey, man. I want you to know, based on a comment that Tua makes, and also based on the fact that this is a college play, that is a lie. You don't get money for this. I think Tua is shoveling out money to convince Arnold to be in this play. I think he's paying for him to be in there, which is crazy. That's actually crazy. Not my business. Anyways, move on. Okay, at some point Jack is alone at this bar, and then Raffi shows up. Big shock. he starts hanging out with him, and he's like, yeah, no, like, I'm just waiting for my friend, like, what if I hang out with you while I wait? And he's like, sure, whatever, man, whatever. He said, just don't ask me about who the lead is. I don't know yet. Just don't ask me about that. He said, okay. And then he's like, well, did I do good though? Like, was I good at the audition? He was like, yeah, whatever. He was like, you're fine. It's whatever. He was like, you were good. And then Raffi starts going off, and he's sitting there, and he's like, I wanna be your, he puts his hand on Jack's leg, and then is like, I want to be your muse, you know, low key kind of just letting him know, like, I want you. Yeah, that's sick. Jack doesn't really say anything to that, because before he even can, Dean shows up, because of course Dean's there. Dean's always there, by the way. It's insane. If Jack's there, Dean's there. It's crazy. Dean shows up, he sits down, he's immediately given Raffi attitude, immediately given him attitude, and he was like, you know, like, you were good, but I think we both know, like, I'm gonna be the lead, and you suck, you know. And he's like, I'm gonna be the lead, and you're gonna be ensemble, like how you always are, because you're not better than me, you know, kind of just along those lines. And Raffi, he jumps in, because at first, like, Jack's like, dude, Dean, cut it, you know, we're being mean right now. And Raffi's like, no, like, it's fine, like, you're my idol. He tells Dean that Dean's his idol, and then he says, and I want everything that you have and have had, you know, kind of just putting that out there. And then Raffi ends up walking away. He ends up leaving, and Dean's like, dude, that's so crazy that Raffi still wants you, because he's been pining after you since freshman year of college, and now it's our senior year, and you rejected him to get with me, and now we're not together, and he's still trying. That's crazy. That's insane. Which, man, oh man. Imagine being Raffi. You're making money moves on someone, and then they're like, nah, dude, I'm gonna reject you for this person. And then they get with that person, they break up, they're finally single, and you're like, dude, now's my chance. But it's still not your chance, because they have a very weird, possessive relationship with their ex, where they both get very jealous and possessive over each other for no reason. Yeah, dude, that's insane. Whatever. Raffi, he ends up going outside, and this is actually really funny. It's not that funny. It is. While he's outside, Rome runs into him, and Raffi makes a comment about it, and he's like, are you following me? And he was like, no, I'm not. He said, I work here. I'm DJ. I'm just DJ. And then, yet again, Rome is making comments about their time that they shared together. Their one time that they shared together. He's making comments about it again, about how baller it was. And Raffi's like, dude, get a grip. No, it wasn't. And this is so twisted. Rome makes a comment about it. This is so sick and twisted. Rome makes a comment about it. And he's like, playing hard to get won't make you any more valuable. Yo. That was a crazy bar to just whip out for fun. Don't clock his tea like that, dude. Don't clock his tea like that. Let's back it up. Yo, dog. That was insane. Naturally, Raffi got upset. He made a comment back. I don't even remember his comment back. I'm going to be so thrilled. I really don't. Rome's comment was too good, and Raffi's comeback wasn't as good. So I don't remember. Didn't even write it down. Didn't need to. Whatever. Rome goes to go do his job. And then it cuts. It shows us that, like, Jack's done talking to Dean. He's gonna go outside now. And he runs. Okay, no. I lied. It's not that he's done talking with Dean. It's that they're done talking. They're hanging out with their group of their friends. But Dean starts flirting with this dude, and Jack gets upset. And then goes outside. Like, that's why he wants to go outside and get out of there. It's because he's upset that Dean's making money moves on someone else. Which, whatever. I don't know. And so, Raffi runs into him. And when Raffi runs into him, lo and behold, Rome shows up. He starts kind of giving attitude. And he's like, is this your new boyfriend? Huh? Is this your new boyfriend? I guess he's just trying to pick up on the vibes that Rome is displaying. And he's like, no, he's not, dude. Not my new boyfriend. And then that's also when you discover that Rome and Jack are brothers. Jack is Rome's older brother. And apparently most people don't know that. Because Jack doesn't say anything about it, and Rome doesn't tell people either. Rome doesn't want to. And so Jack ends up going outside, flirts with this dude. He goes home with that dude. Whatever. It cuts. It's showing Raffi coming up to Rome's DJ booth, and he's like, dude, like, why don't you tell me you guys were brothers? And he was like, for the reason that you're thinking. Which, I don't know. I don't know, man. Whatever. And then Raffi's like, don't tell him that we hooked up. And Rome's like, why shouldn't I? He said, maybe I'll get drunk and I'll let it slip. And I'll tell him. And he said, please don't do that. Come on. And he said, what's in it for me to not tell him? And he was like, are you seriously blackmailing me right now? And then Raffi spills his drink on Rome's DJ equipment on accident. It was on accident. He spills it on his DJ equipment. So the music cuts out. Rome has to super quickly pull up his laptop, like play off his laptop instead. And now Raffi's kind of freaking out a little bit. And he was like, oh my God. He was like, what can I do? Like, how can I make it up to you? And Rome essentially makes a comment that, like, his time will come to make it up to him. So if he was not blackmailing him before, he definitely is now. Are we shocked? No. This is only Friends. You should never be shocked that we're blackmailing people. And we're plausibly going to cash it in the form of inappropriate favors. So, yeah. Love this show. All the time. Okay. We're now back at Jack's place. Jack's there with that dude. He's low-key about to hook up with this guy. But then... Dude, literally, like, right at the beginning, Dean shows up. Dean just walks into Jack's place. And Jack's like, why are you here? Later, like, genuinely, why are you here right now? Like, how'd you get inside my house? And he was like, well, the code is still my birthday. So when the house code stops being my birthday, I'll stop coming in whenever I want. Hey, man, what? Yo, dog. Crazy. Whatever. And he refuses to leave. Even though Jack says, get out. And he said, no. And then Jack's like, what about the dude you were talking to? Like, why aren't you with him? And he was like, oh, why? You're like, are you jealous? Because I was just flirting with him. I didn't go home with him or anything. You jealous? What is that, huh? And he was like, dude, like, no, I'm not. Leave, please. And then he said, no, I don't have to leave because I used to live here. And and he specifically mentions that they used to do it a lot on the bed, presumably to make the other person leave. And then the other person finally, they finally make a comment and they're like, yeah, I don't want to be a part of whatever this is, man. I'm gonna go home. And they leave. Can you blame him? No, not one bit. Not at all. No. And Jack kind of pipes in. He's like, hey, man, like, what was that all about? What were we doing that for? And Dean's like, oh, whatever. And Jack's like, get out of my house. He says, say whatever you need to say and go home. And Dean's like, dude, no, like, how can you be so mean to me? It was like 1 or 2 in the morning, I guess. And he was like, you should just let me spend the night. And he says, no, you can't spend the night here anymore. Like, we're not together. And then they proceed to have a conversation that essentially turns into Dean yet again reiterating that he knows Jack oh so well, and he knows everything about him, and like, he's such a shoo-in for the lead in the play. And then essentially Dean does what any character in Only Friends would do. He cashes in a inappropriate favor for as a way to get ahead. So yeah. Yep. He gets with him under the guise that getting with him is going to cause him to be the lead in the play. If he's not the lead in the play now, after that, man, oh man, could this get bad. I'm pretty sure he's gonna be the lead of the play. Whatever. And that was the end of the episode. Since next time I give you the episode update, I don't have to tell you any information about like who the characters are or anything like that, so I get to cut all that time. It won't be nearly as long. Sorry about that. Didn't expect it to be this long, and I'm still talking, so that's upsetting. That's really upsetting. I will see you next week. Will it also be on Sunday? I can't guarantee that. I do not know. That is not my business. Later.